Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, everyone. Lanny, Bert, you know us by now, the Dividend Diplomats. In today's video, we're going to talk about how Lanny got swept up in a meme stock, what he did, and now where he goes from here.
All right, guys, before we dive into the big Wall Street bet stock lately, smash that subscribe button, give the Diplomats a nice thumbs up. We're almost at 15,000. It is crazy. We're not there yet. So, guys, let's get there. Let's freaking go. But you're right, Bert. If you haven't been on the roller coaster this past week of August 12th, I don't know where you've been, brother.
Well, I've sat this one out because I never owned shares in this company like you did. So I was just watching you experience this from the sidelines. And I mean, it was a little more painful for you, but it wasn't for me. I was kind of laughing at some of the updates as we were going through. But I think overall, this video is going to be exciting because it's going to talk about what happened, a little history of the position, what happened this week, and how I think when the dust settled, you can clearly see you made the right decision, and how excited we are to see what you did with the money going forward.
Well, guys, a long time ago, way before probably 2019, 2018, 2017, 4 or 5 plus years ago, again, my wife and I each bought positions in Bed Bath & Beyond stock. Yes, we own the BBBY stock. We were like, oh, okay balance sheet, dividend growth history, high yielding retail company. Let's do it.
But also too, at that time, this was before Target, before Amazon, before everybody else also really collapsed onto what made Bed Bath & Beyond special. So to your point, their financials were very strong when you bought them. Their balance sheet was clean as a whistle. They dominated the registry game. Nobody else was really in it the same way there was. So we all saw, Lanny and I at that time were in the heart of weddings, of just constantly buying people because everybody had their Bed Bath registries. Everybody, that was the spot. So it's like, and they were in the process of revamping their stores, revitalizing the brand, and making it even more dynamic from a retail side. So the vision was there for why you bought Bed Bath. And it wasn't just the vision, they had the strong financials to back it at the time too. So I think that's a very important undertone in all of this, was things can change quickly. And I think that's what happened here.
So if people don't know the history of Bed Bath & Beyond stock, man, they have really been on a roller coaster the last, 5 years. At one point trading, at 30 back in 2017, to dropping into the low single digits, $4 or $5 a share during the pandemic of 2020. WallStreetBets and Reddit, they had their first pump up back in 2020, end of 2020, 2021, reaching as high as $35 to $40 a share, collapsing back down earlier this summer at about $4 and change. My wife and I continue to hold this darn stock. And if you guys remember, we've also been interested in cleaning out positions. There's been a ton that I've cleaned out, Oxy, Delta. There's been a few others that I've kind of said sayonara to and added to more stable, passive income growing dividend stocks. And then this week happened.
It gave you another chance to clean up on the position, though. So let's look at what happened in this last week for Bed Bath & Beyond. The Wall Street bets and the short squeeze really started to flex its muscle. Entering the month of August, Bed Bath had a share price of $5.77. So let's cue forward to the beginning of this week. The price had already doubled. It was already above $10 per share. It hit $11 per share in the week of August 8th. So I'm sure, I can't speak for you, Lanny, but I'm sure your head was already thinking, let me just get the heck out of this position. It's coming. I want to sell it. I want to get out, capture some of that. Then, August 12th, it was at $12.95. And then talk about this last week, Lanny, and the chart.
Sure. So, guys, ending Monday, August 15th, it was around $15 to $16 a share. And I'm like, we got to get out of this position. I can't go back into the details right now to see, kind of what my cost basis was. It was kind of around the same mark. So we put in a limit order to start the day before the market opened to sell part of our position. And again, there's going to be a blog link to this, article that I also wrote below in the description. But we put in limit orders in two kind of tranches for Bed Bath & Beyond stock. So for my wife and I, we each own shares, guys. Again, I owned over 100. I can't believe I'm saying I had over 109 shares of Bed Bath & Beyond stock. My wife had a little over 44 shares. So combined, we owned over 150 shares of this global disaster. And we put in a tranche order to sell part of our position at about $16 a share. Market open, boom. I mean, that thing was just climbing and climbing and climbing.
Yeah,
so
by 10 minutes into the market, that first tranche was gone. Like that first tranche was like that. See ya. What was your second tranche though?
So, and unfortunately at that point, we did put a second tranche in. And guys, the second tranche, I put in my wife's at 18. Okay, it's like, if you do the math, for it to go from 16 to 18, it has to go up another 12.5%. The market sometimes in a whole year can return 12.5%. So I'm like, okay, if it ever hits 18, we're going to sell out of my wife's position completely. And then for me, I was like, okay, I'll be a little bit, oh yeah, we'll go to 1850 because no way we'll go from.
And because you're Italian, you're stubborn. You're gonna get the extra 50 cents.
But I'm like, there's no way, because from 16 to 18, that's a 12.5% increase from there. From 16 to 1850, it's 15%. So why would it climb up another 15%? Well, guys, those things actually, it took a little bit of time to get there.
Yep.
Probably between 10 and 10:30 a.m. But once it hit that, it kind of paused a little bit. There was a little bit of a pause around. So the 18 hit, sold. 1850 came a little bit after, sold. Then it hovered in that $18.50 to $21 range for a while on August 16th, Tuesday. But man, oh man, did that engine just fire away.
So at 11 a.m., I have my mouse like hovering over Google Finance on this day to show the time. It reports at 11 a.m. share price $20.90. The next 30-minute bucket, 11:30, $28.04. $28.04. It jumped.
I gotta say, because to go up from 16 to 28 in that short of time, that's a 75% increase to the stock price.
Yeah, and that's the insanity of the meme stocks, and that's what makes this so hard and so frustrating, and why ultimately I don't think you weren't wrong just to get out of this. And there's no way anyone can predict that it's going to jump up that much, because this is insanity. There's no fundamentals. There's nothing. It's just momentum. You have to be watching. You have to be ready to deal with the stomach and when is it going to fall down. This isn't investing. This is speculating. And I think that's what's the hard part. This is what happened was speculation, and nobody could speculate that it would jump up 75%, to your point.
So fortunately / unfortunately, we were completely sold out of our position. And the cash that we had after these 4 limit order sales occurred, we had $2,668. Now, could I have, if this were to happen again, should I have broken into fourths? Like if I had 110 shares, could I have done like 26 share tranches and then worked my way up every $2?
Sure.
Maybe.
But okay, so let's game this out for a second, because at the end of Tuesday, the share price was end of Tuesday was at $18.95 or $18. Let's just say it was 18. We don't need the exact. It came back down to where you put that last tranche. Like it jumped up into the 20s again based on more noise. But then I think the reality of what was happening with Bed Bath & Beyond really set in on Thursday, and the rest of the week kind of set forth what happened and why just getting out of it was the right move. They had Ryan Cohen, the activist investor, just said, I'm out of this. He sold out of his stake altogether. And I think that was the shoe that fell that really caused the stock price to plummet. After he made that announcement, the stock price plummeted 40%. It was done. I think the madness was done because the big time investors, the ones that were in there, were like, we're out of here. The WallStreetBets got what they wanted. They wanted the activist hedge funds out of Bed Bath & Beyond, and that's what they got. So you could have waited, Lanny. You could have built as many tranches as you wanted to. You could have said this could go to 50, this could go to 60, but what would you have missed out on? What's the closing price today for Bed Bath & Beyond?
Yeah, so if you guys haven't noticed, by the end of Friday, obviously after all the sells and, the short squeeze is probably finished, Bed Bath & Beyond finished the week at $11.03.
So when all was said and done, despite when you sold it, you entered the week at $15 a share. You sold it at the highest mark was $18.50. It ended the week at $11.03. That's why I say this was the right move for you, regardless of what happened in between the 18 and the 11.
Yeah, what I wanted to avoid was holding the bag at the end, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lesson in this because
holding
there's
the bag of dog.
Well, we're also dealing with this. I joked in an earlier video. I would love if Viacom got another whack at the meme stock to help us get out of it, because this happened there where we were watching this in the initial WallStreetBets mania when it jumped up to over $100 per share for Paramount and Viacom CBS, and now nothing would be better than getting an opportunity like this to kind of liquidate some of that position and get out.
If that happened with Paramount, I'd probably get my cost basis out, but then I would still own shares.
Sure, but I'm gonna say, like, it was the right move. I mean, you don't want to be left, to your point, holding the bags. Like, imagine how pissed you'd be right now if you didn't do anything. Like, I'm just going to keep waiting. I'm going to keep waiting for it to hit 50 and then I'm selling out. That's why I think this is ultimately, you made the right investment decision move to get out of it.
I mean, and that's the beauty / also the, limit orders can be your friend. Limit orders can also make you go, oh, shoot. I'm happy that it's over because, it's another stock, one less stock in my dividend stock portfolio. It was one of the dogs that I wanted to exit already, but just waiting for, I always look at their earnings and their 10Qs and 10Ks, really seeing, okay, are they improving their balance sheet? Are they improving their cost structure? Wasn't really seeing it. So I just needed the right time. And thanks to, Reddit, WallStreetBets, and the short squeeze, they granted me the window to exit at an okay price to get my money, out of that stock. And we put it right to work instantly.
Well, that's where I was going. I was going to ask you, Lanny, now that you're out of there, that cash isn't just sitting there in the sidelines earning 0.02%. What did you do with the cash, and why do you feel so much better about where the cash is sitting today than where it was entering the week?
Guys, here's the big shock factor. Moved it into Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF, ticker symbol VY. So we made a big splash into both of our portfolios. So with my wife's proceeds, we invested in a total of 7 more shares. And I'll just say at about $110 a share at VYM. I added 17 shares of VYM, again, similarly at about $110 a share. So 24 shares in total of VYM, and we added $76.80 in actual passive forward dividend income.
I mean, I love it. I don't think you could have gone in a better direction from dealing with this madness to dealing with how calm VYM is going to be. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Excellent job, everybody. So let's just summarize what happened here. Lanny rode the meme stock roller coaster here with Bed Bath. He got out of his position, wasn't at the peak, wasn't at the valley. He got out at a pretty reasonable, strong valuation, and he took that speculative stock that's dealing with headaches right now and invested it in Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF that's made up of fantastic dividend growth stocks, producing a very strong dividend yield and adding $76 to his forward dividend income just like that. Lanny, kudos to you. You're done. One less position to monitor. You can breathe a little bit. And now you can sleep better at night with this money, knowing Vanguard is taking care of you.
Guys, who else here owned Bed Bath and Beyond stock? Let us know in the comments what you did during the week. Are you still holding the bag of BBBY stock? Bert, I also appreciate the summary as well. The high level summary of what occurred here. There's definitely the blog article, so you can see, more of the detail, links to articles, screenshots, and everything as well in our description. Bert, how do you feel about it?
I feel great. I'm happy for you. And I mean, we'll see what happens by the time our next video rolls out, but I might have not a meme stock, but getting out of a position to myself. So we'll see if it's going to be one of the next 4 or 5 videos. It's just, when does the actual thing happen? So stay tuned.
Make sure you send a thank you card to Warren.
Oh, I will. I definitely will. With an empty can, I'll crush an empty can of Coke and just say, here you go, bud. And if you have, all right, everyone, let us know what your thoughts are with Lanny and his move. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. Any other things you want to add here, Lanny?
Guys, keep buying high quality businesses, or you can easily stick with nice ETFs that reduce your risk, increase your passive income. That's it, guys. But thanks for banging with us here. That was Bert and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.